Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am super excited to showcase one of my favourite pieces from the Signature Knives series, and this is knife number 12, or as I've nicknamed it, the Little Rascal. And even though it's already found a new home, I still wanted to give it the spotlight that it deserves, because this one turned out absolutely beautiful. I've only worked a couple rainbow blades into the series, and they always do really well. This one in particular, you can only see the banding at one angle, and that's from the top looking down into the blade. The lighting isn't right, but if you hold it at this angle, you can see it. The rest of the knife, it just looks black. But it still doesn't take away from its beauty. It's a piece of rainbow obsidian that I had left over, and I thought that I would make a full blade out of it. As with all my knives, it's traditionally hafted using pine pitch glue, homemade, locally sourced. There's some charcoal in there to help with binding, and of course then you've got the artificial wax sinew and hide glue. You can see something that's become one of my trademarks with my knives, and that's the cross pattern on the handle itself. Now, quick note on the hafting. This is where the ancient techniques kind of come into it. I mean, I flake over grind all my pieces, which has been documented, but definitely not with modern tools. This blade, you know, the traditional hafting, this is where the blade is secured into the handle using homemade pine pitch. It's the primary adhesive in this. So pine pitch is an incredible natural glue that's been used for tens of thousands of years. It's waterproof, flexible, and incredibly strong once it sets. Everything's being reinforced with artificial sinew for that traditional look, and hide glue for extra bonding strength. The result is that connection there, which just looks insane, and it's really strong as well. That's the main thing. Now, the handle itself is quite magic. It's made out of 3 different woods. The heart of it, or the main section, is Cornish ash, sourced locally. It's quite tough, and it's got a lovely straight grain running through it, as you can see, which I think sets apart the scales, which is the most important part, which is the bit you see when it's mounted on its stand, and that is the 5,000-year-old bog oak sides. And it complements the ash so well. It was a bit of a battle as to whether or not I was going to do ash on the outside and bog running down the middle, but I figured that from a top profile you would have the darkness of the obsidian that pairs, like the contrast between the two worked really well, so it kind of split. I kind of wanted it to have a pattern running down, and it did. It had that effect. The tip, the very butt, is rosewood, just a little piece, but it still ties the whole thing together. The blade itself wasn't tanged, but when I was pairing it with this handle, I thought, do you know what, I'm going to go for that tang style, and I'm really glad that I did. And as I said, when it comes to the rainbow obsidian itself, you can't actually see the band. There is a band running right here. You can see it from here down to here, but you can only see the actual rainbow effect when it's viewed from the top. You can just see it there, just see it along that top edge. You can see it there now that I've got the light shining on it. The rainbow effect just cuts in just a little bit. You get that kind of colour, and I don't even think the camera's picking it up that well, but that's how you get it. There it is. Just see the rainbow, and it is stunning. When I was putting this little piece together, I had that piece of rainbow left in my box of other pieces of obsidian that I had yet to work. There was just this little piece of rainbow sitting in the corner, and the fact that I had smaller pieces of bog oak that wouldn't fit a bigger blade, it would only fit this one. It just had to be done. When it comes to, you know, the bog oak, the fact that the blade is flint knapped and all of that, I think it carries that deep history, you know, because the bog oak itself is, you know, this is wood that's been preserved in the bog for 5 millennia. And I just think that the fact that I'm holding something with wood this old always gives me like such a sense of connection to the past. So to be, you know, napping something and attaching it to something that is you know, really old is quite magic. You've got a combination of old and new all into one. You want to display it properly. So the stand itself is something that I've done a couple knives in now, and I just can't help it because it's so beautiful, and that's splinterwood or African wenge. The only difference here is the blade holder, instead of it being burl, is an English elm, which is incredibly tough. You know, you've got this deep chocolatey tone of the stand, and the English elm adds that, you know, nice local touch, you know, with the beautiful figuring. It's just a perfect combination that doesn't distract too much from the blade itself, which just sits in there like that. It may be small, but it definitely suits the name, the Little Rascal. It may have already sold, and it sold pretty quickly, and of course I'm really happy that it has, but still, it will be hard to say goodbye to this one. It's an absolute beautiful little knife, and it's going to love its new home. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and take care.